Welcome to Walker Tea Review. I'm Jason Walker, and we've got a pu'er tea. There's a lot of people talking about pu'ers. They're increasing in popularity here in the U.S. We're going to be talking about what is a pu'er, a couple of things about how to prepare a pu'er, because a pu'er for a lot of people is something that you often immediately either love or hate. And part of the explanation for why is often the preparation. I think there are a lot of people out there who don't like or think they don't like pu'ers because of different. I think you could prepare it in a different way and get a lot more value out of it and appreciate it a lot more. This is what's called a tuocha, or this is kind of like a bird's nest or mushroom cap. It's actually bowl shaped like that. This is one of the mini. It's called a mini. A lot of times it's called a mini tuocha. So I'm putting in my actual professional taster's cup here. I'm going to put in one of those, and our water's been brought to a boil. So we're going to go ahead and put it on, because one of the components, paper that wraps the tuocha, one of the components is that you're supposed to use often high temperature water, boiling water. This water's been brought to a boil, and it's just been cooling for the 20-30 seconds I've been talking. Because what's happening here is pu'ers give usually a very intense aroma and taste. It's quite unique from a lot of others. Pu'ers are harvested, and then between the pluck of the leaf and the actual steeping of the leaf, there's a period of time where the leaves are actually just kind of piled up, and there's a fermentation going on there. And the trick, of course, is to turn that pile and age those leaves so that it doesn't rot, it doesn't become sour. So there's a skill involved in that, and that's part of the unique process of the pu'er tea. This pu'er, let's talk about this pu'er. This pu'er is from Mark T. Wendell Tea Company. This is what, as we said, they're pu'er. I'm saying pu'er, not pu'er. Pu'er is the standard Mandarin Chinese pronunciation. So if you hear pu'er, that's a variant, or a dialect. This is their tuocha, as we said, this little bowl size or type shape. You can find 6 ounces. This is a 6-ounce tin on Wendell's website for $15.75. Okay, so that's what you have in front of us. And as we talk about this tea, a couple of points. As we said, preparation. You want to be able to keep an eye on a pu'er, because a lot of your tea companies will advise you to steep a pu'er for 4 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that, which is okay if you have a balance of water and volume of right volume of leaf and water. Typically, I steep my pu'ers for a much shorter period of time than that, because they can get very dense and inky and very heavy. Almost for many people it could be too intense. So I'm constantly keeping an eye on this tea. I'm going to give it just about a minute is all I'm going to give it, if that. Okay. I do want to take a moment here and talk about this dry leaf and just kind of give it a sniff. One of the things you're going to note about pu'ers is that they do have a earthy, it's like a root type of smell component to it. It's got a wet wood, forest floor type of smell coming off roots. Maybe think basement smells. Lots damp, dark, kind of earthy smells. And that comes with these, as we said, these pressed little cakes. These leaves, you can still see a little bit of stem piece here and there, but these leaves have been compressed together very tightly into that one solid shape. When you get a tuocha, these little bowls or bird nests, they are often individually wrapped. Okay, So that takes care of our dry leaf for now. If we have time, we'll come back. I am going to pour this because that should be more than enough time, actually. So I'm getting out my Gong Bei, my Fairness cup or pitcher here. My tea taster set has a hole on the lid. I'm going to keep that close to the handle. The opening is over here. Put my finger on and quickly pour in. Towel is here to catch those drips that slip through. The bottom, of course, is thicker and darker. When I first poured it, it was thinner and lighter at the top of the cup. So that still gives us a nice, rich serving here. With pu'ers, you often can get a lot of steepings out of more steepings out of this than, say, equal volume of green leaf or some other leaves. Let's go on now and talk a little bit about the wet leaf while we have it here. With the taster's cup, the advantage here of having that is it allows you to conveniently look at the leaf and display those leaves. So what you often do, while be careful because the cup will still be hot, but you want to turn it upside down, give it a shake. In this case, I don't believe our PuerTuo hasn't completely unbundled. So I'm going to just kind of roll it around in my fingers. Yeah, hasn't fully unpacked yet, so it's still kind of a lump there. So we'll just have to look at the lump as it is. Deep earthy type smells coming off. A little bit of a chocolate powder type smell coming off as well. So there is something that's kind of mildly sweet, mildly savory, scrumptious about this. Still, the earthy component has toned down. If anything, it's a bit more of a nice dried wood type of smell. Okay, so you combine a little bit of the dried wood, a little bit of the dark cocoa powder there. Nice combination, not off-putting at this point. Okay, just from glancing at these leaves and just kind of gently rolling them around. So you do have some pieces that are a little bit longer, and that's actually, as I feel that in my finger, that's a stem piece. Let's see, what else do we have? You have portions of leaves here, but not really anything that looks like full needles or full leaves here. So, not a lot more to say about the wet leaf. So we'll move on. We'll press on to our liquor here. Now that I didn't fully keep my eye on the clock while this was steeping, but I'm pretty sure that was not 4 minutes of steep time. And with that, you have a dark, rich, reddish, purple brown type of color coming off of that liquor. Very thick, I mean, in direct light it's transparent, but just barely. I mean, it is heavy, and that's why if you use a low volume of water and a higher volume of tea, and you follow those directions for 5 minutes steep, it can easily be off-putting. Still a little bit of something kind of dried mushroom in the smell here. So there is still a little bit of that earthy type component. Let's give it a taste here. Let's see what we've got. We want to be on the lookout for aftertastes. Okay? Okay. I mean, we had plenty of steep time. We had plenty of temperature. We had a pretty heavy ratio of leaf to water. There wasn't a lot of water in this little, it's about a 4-ounce size tasting cup here. So Subsequent steepings, to be fair, subsequent steepings will release more. The first steeping is usually of a pour is it's hard to really get the best out of that first steep because it takes a while for those leaves to unfurl and release. But just this initial steep here. Light chocolate notes. Again, light, dark cocoa powder type notes coming off here. The body is lighter, it is weaker than some other puars. And off-camera tastings, I found that to be true as well. This one's not bringing that full bite. It does have a bit of coating to the mouth, but it's still lighter than some of the others. The aftertaste is, again, a little bit of the cocoa powder there. Not full, not that pronounced compared to some others. Aftertaste was gentle, that you would get more out of subsequent steepings. So we'll give this tea probably about an 87. Even with subsequent steepings bringing out more of the nuance of the tea, it doesn't have, compared to other puars, it doesn't have as much of the viscosity, that texture in the mouth, the full range of experience of the aftertaste, and so what's left is a little bit of a kind of a watery feel in the mouth that pops up a little too suddenly. So a puar, as we said, from Wendell Teas. This is their puar, and again, when you prepare your puar, you want to go through your personal trial and error experience so that you can find that right balance of water temperature, volume of tea. Okay, so come back and join us next time as we experiment and learn together here at Walker Tea Review.